Hi guys, and welcome to Math Today. So for Math Today, we're going to be looking at fractions and mixed numbers, and specifically we're going to look at models of mixed numbers. So your learning target is I can identify mixed numbers based on the given fraction model. So I'm going to first identify the whole number and then second identify the leftover fraction. Okay? So some vocabulary you need to know in order to complete today's lesson. You need to know what whole numbers are. A whole number is 3, 27, 8. Okay, it is not 2.5, 6.5. Those are not whole numbers. Okay, so like 3, 4, those are all whole numbers. And then a fraction, well, it's part of the whole, that 1/2, that 1/4. And then a mixed number has both a whole number and a fraction. So some examples are 2.5 and 3 3/4, 21 and 2/4. Those are examples of mixed numbers, okay? And improper fractions. So an improper fraction is when a fraction has a bigger numerator than a denominator, okay? So a whole number, basically it's a whole number or mixed number in disguise, like 14/8, okay? So remember improper fractions, so the top number, the numerator, is bigger than the bottom one, and that's rude, that's improper. We want our fractions to be proper, and that's why we usually turn improper fractions into proper fractions. So here I was given an improper fraction, so the proper fraction then would be, or the mixed number would be, why am I saying 7? It would be 1, and I have to think, I have to do math. Be 1 whole, because that would be 14 minus 8, because 8 equals 1 whole, right? So it would be 6. So it would be 1 6/8 would be my mixed number. So I'm going to show you some examples. This first one I just want you to watch, but again, our learning target is identifying mixed numbers based on the given fraction model. So here I was given the fraction model for number 1, and I'm going to use this to identify the mixed number, okay? So first things first, I'm going to identify the whole. So I'm going to figure out how many whole numbers there are, so how many boxes or circles that are completely filled in. So there's 1, 2, 3. So my whole number is 3. And then I need to identify the fraction. Well, when I said 3, I counted for this one, and this one. So whatever I have left is my fraction. And so it has a denominator of 1, 2, 3 because there are 3 pieces and I only have 1 filled in. So my mixed number is 3 1/3. Okay? So this second one down here, I want you to do with me. So go ahead and look at it and decide how many circles are completely filled in. Okay, you should have said 3, and when you did that, you identified that whole number. So we're going to write a 3. So I have 1, 2, 3, they're completely filled in. When I wrote that 3, I accounted for those 3, so I'm not going to look at those anymore. So now I'm going to look over at the next one. I need to identify the fraction, so go ahead and identify the fraction in this circle. What fraction of that circle is colored in? And you should have said, again, if you need more time, pause the video, but you should have said 1/5. So my answer, when I'm trying to identify this mixed number, is 3 1/5. That's what that model represents, okay? So let's do this third one again. So I want you to identify the whole number. Pause the video if you need more time. You should have said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My whole number is 5. Now I need to identify the fraction. Oh wait, there's nothing left, right? So I'm not going to put 0 over 2 because that's crazy talk. That's the same thing as 0. I'm just going to leave it as a whole number. So it's just going to be 5. Okay? So now you are going to try with me. We already were doing this. So let's look at number 1 here. Go ahead, pause the video, and try to identify the whole number. Okay, you should have said, well, this is completely filled in, this is completely filled in, this is completely filled in, and this is completely filled in. Although this last one here is filled in, it is not completely filled in, so therefore it is not a hole. So I'm going to count how many holes I have. I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So my whole number is 4. Now I need to identify the fraction, so go ahead and pause the video and identify the fraction. Okay, you should have said either 3/6, because there's 3 pieces of the 6 colored in, or you could have said 4 1/2, because you'll notice it's half the circle that's colored in. So 3/6 and 1/2 are those equivalent fractions, so either would be correct. Let's look at number 2. Okay, so I want you to again pause the video and identify the whole number. Well, I have 1 completely filled in and 2 completely filled in. So I have 2 as my whole number. Now I need to identify my fraction. So go ahead, pause the video, and identify your fraction. You should have said 2/3, because 2 out of the 3 pieces were filled in. Let's do number 3. You'll notice that it has a lot smaller pieces, so it's a little bit trickier. So make sure that you're kind of counting carefully, okay? So I want you to go ahead, pause the video, find out how many whole numbers there are, how many whole pieces there are. You should have said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because 5 of those are completely colored in. Okay? And so now I have some left over. I have that fraction there. So go ahead, pause the video, and identify the fraction. Okay, so I'm going to start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4, 5, 6 out of 6 colored in. Or you could have said 5 and, real quick, I have to do math, 2/3. It's the same. I'm assuming most of you did this one. This is the simplified version, but we don't have to do that. But if you saw it, great. Okay, so now these ones you're going to try first. So go ahead, I want you to pause this video and try to do all of number 1 by yourself. Okay, if you need more time, make sure you pause that video. You should have said the whole number was 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 something, and then I need to identify my fraction. Well, my fraction is 1 piece is filled in out of 3 pieces, so 4 1/3. Now, I'm going to do the same thing for this next one. So go ahead, pause the video, and try to do number 2 by yourself. Okay, you should have said there's 1, 2, 3 holes. So the 3 completely filled in. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of 4, 5, 6. 4, 6. So 3 and 4, 6. Okay, let's go down here to number 3. Okay, I want you to pause the video and try to find the mixed number by yourself. Okay, you should have said, well, for the whole number, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's going to be 6. And then I need to identify the fraction in order to make it a mixed number like my learning target says. So then I have 3 pieces colored in out of 4 pieces. So 6 3/4. Okay, so now you guys have your exit ticket. So you are going to need to go through and identify each of these mixed numbers. Remember, a mixed number is when a whole number and a fraction are kind of put together. So an example is 2 1/2. That's not one of your answers, but that's what it should look like. So once you're done with all 3, please make sure that you Zoom myself or Mr. Davison so we can check in and just see how you're doing. If you have any questions, please let us know.